Perfectionism is a trap. The pursuit of perfection can feel like a noble goal, but in truth, it's a mirage, a never-ending cycle that takes more than it gives. The harder you chase perfection, the more it consumes your energy, confidence, and creativity. It doesn't just stall progress, it creates fear. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of being anything less than flawless.
Perfectionism is an alluring trap. At first glance, it seems like an admirable trait, even something to aspire to. After all, who wouldn't want to do their best, exceed expectations, and create something extraordinary? But perfectionism isn't the same as striving for excellence. Excellence is about growth, effort, and passion, while perfectionism is a fear-driven obsession with avoiding mistakes, criticism, and imperfection. Perfectionism promises success, fulfillment, and respect, but it rarely delivers. Instead, it leaves you feeling inadequate, no matter how hard you try or how much you achieve. It paralyzes creativity, erodes confidence, and often stops you before you even start. At its core, perfectionism is not a standard of excellence. It's an endless chase toward an ever-moving finish line. Perfectionism isn't innate. It's something we learn. It can begin early, shaped by the expectations of parents, teachers, peers, and society. As children, many of us were taught that success equals worth. Maybe you were praised for getting perfect grades, winning awards, or excelling in sports. The message was clear: your value lies in what you achieve. Over time, this praise can morph into pressure, and mistakes start to feel like failures, not opportunities for growth. Society also plays a significant role in fostering perfectionism. We're constantly bombarded with images of success on social media, carefully curated lives, polished achievements, and effortless victories. It's easy to forget that these snapshots are highlights, not reality. Yet they create an impossible standard that many of us try to emulate, often at the expense of our mental and emotional well-being. Perfectionism doesn't always look the same. It manifests in different ways, depending on the person and the context. Understanding its forms can help you recognize how it might be affecting you. 1. The overachiever. Overachievers set impossibly high standards for themselves and push relentlessly to meet them. While their determination can lead to impressive accomplishments, it often comes at a high cost: burnout, exhaustion, and a persistent feeling that nothing they do is ever enough. 2. The procrastinator. Ironically, perfectionism often leads to procrastination. When the fear of not doing something perfectly becomes overwhelming, it feels safer to avoid the task altogether. Procrastinators delay starting projects, waiting for the perfect moment that never comes. 3. The self-critic. This form of perfectionism manifests as an unrelenting inner dialogue of criticism. Every mistake is magnified, every shortcoming dissected. The self-critic struggles to celebrate wins because they're too busy focusing on perceived flaws. 4. The people pleaser. For some, perfectionism is tied to the need for approval. People pleasers go to great lengths to meet others' expectations, fearing rejection or judgment if they fall short. They often neglect their own needs in the process. 5. The avoider. Avoiders steer clear of challenges or opportunities altogether because the risk of failure feels too great. They'd rather not try than risk being seen as anything less than perfect. Perfectionism may seem like a noble pursuit, but it comes with significant downsides. It doesn't just affect your work, it impacts your mental health, relationships, and overall quality of life. 1. Paralysis and inaction. The fear of imperfection can leave you stuck in a cycle of overthinking. Every decision feels monumental, every choice fraught with potential regret. Instead of moving forward, you freeze, afraid to make the wrong move. 2. Creativity suffers. Creativity thrives on experimentation and freedom, but perfectionism demands control. When you're obsessed with avoiding mistakes, you stifle the creative process. The fear of failure keeps you from taking risks, exploring new ideas, or embracing innovation. 3. Burnout is inevitable. Perfectionism creates an unsustainable cycle of overwork. The constant drive to meet impossible standards leaves little room for rest or recovery. Over time, this leads to physical and emotional exhaustion. 4. Self-worth takes a hit. When your value is tied to your achievements, failure feels personal. Every misstep becomes a reflection of your worth. This mindset erodes confidence, making it harder to trust yourself or your abilities. 5. Missed opportunities. Perfectionism convinces you that if you can't do something perfectly, it's not worth doing at all. As a result, you may avoid opportunities that could lead to growth, learning, or success. At its heart, perfectionism is about fear. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of being seen as flawed, inadequate, or unworthy. These fears drive the need for perfection, creating a vicious cycle of self-doubt and overcompensation. This fear often stems from a deeper belief. If I'm not perfect, I'm not enough. It's a belief that's both untrue and deeply harmful. Your worth isn't tied to your achievements, and your mistakes don't define you. Here's the irony: the things we love most in life, the stories that move us, the art that inspires us, the people we cherish, are rarely perfect. They resonate because they're real. Think about your favorite song. Chances are it's not technically perfect, but it connects with you on a deep emotional level. Or consider a handmade object. The tiny flaws, the uneven glaze, the slightly off-center design give it character and charm. Imperfection is what makes things beautiful. It's what makes them human. Letting go of perfectionism isn't easy, but it's possible. Here are some strategies to help you on your journey. 1. Shift your mindset. Redefine success as progress, not perfection. Celebrate small wins and focus on the effort you put in rather than the outcome. 2. Embrace vulnerability. Share your work even if it feels unfinished or imperfect. Vulnerability is what allows you to connect with others and grow. 3. Set realistic goals. Challenge the unrealistic expectations you've set for yourself. Focus on what's achievable and meaningful, not what's perfect. 4. Practice self-compassion. Treat yourself with the same kindness and understanding you'd offer a friend. Mistakes are part of being human. They're opportunities to learn, not evidence of failure. 5. Focus on the process. Instead of fixating on the end result, find joy in the act of creating, exploring, and learning. There's a metaphor that perfectly captures the nature of creativity: the mountain. In your mind, you have a vision of a towering peak, the ultimate goal, the perfect creation. But as you climb, the summit seems to move further away. The truth is, you'll never reach the top. The mountain will keep growing and perfection will remain out of reach. But that's okay, because the real value isn't in reaching the summit, it's in the climb. Perfectionism may feel like a noble pursuit, but it's a trap. It keeps you stuck in a cycle of fear, self-doubt, and overwork. It convinces you that you're never good enough, no matter how much you achieve. But the truth is, perfection isn't what makes something valuable. Authenticity, effort, and heart do. So let go of the need to be perfect. Create boldly, embrace mistakes, and celebrate progress. Because perfection is an illusion, but growth is real. And every imperfect step you take is a step toward something meaningful.